Okay, so today I'm going to work on something a little unique, I think. Well, for me, and it's going to be a special design that I have in my mind. I don't know if it's going to turn out, but we're going to go with it. I want to do it for a special friend of mine. She loves the ocean, the seas, beachy themes, things like that. So I just want to see if I can come up with something that I know other people would like as well as her. So I'm going to start with this Sculpey Souffle. I have a lot of different things here because I'm thinking, so I have a lot of different things here. I have these like ceramic kind of tile. They're not too heavy. They're pretty lightweight. Whoops, let me get in the camera here. And they're really cute. They have the drill hole, or the hole is drilled through here. And they're little sea turtles. I love them. They're little stone, and the smaller the better because I don't want too much weight on the ear. And these are going to be earrings. I might make a pendant. We'll see. But these I had gotten last year or the year before from Temu in a big, I don't know if I got 20 pieces, 10 pieces, but those are super cute. I've been dying to use them to make something with them. I also don't know if I'm going to go with these. These are little like bead, I don't know what you call them. They go around a bead or something else you can dangle in, and they're drilled through also. So that came that way, again from Temu. I get a lot of my findings that way. And then I have these natural stones too. They're super lightweight. I don't know if I'll incorporate them. It was just a mixed bag of these stones in this color combination. And I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I have them out in case that works best. And then I have these little beads too, these little rhinestone. They can be like used for separators when you're making bracelets and things like that. But I had a different idea to like hang them through using jump rings in them and kind of help them. Or I might put them in the stars and go from there. And then I have a different color too. So ocean is made up of several different blue hues, or hundreds of blue hues, who knows. Anyway, so those are some of those little pieces that I'm going to incorporate. And then I have head pins here, but I'll be cutting off the bottom probably so that I can put a jump ring in. And then I want to try using a silk screen for the first time ever. I put them in these little envelopes I got from Temu too. Now these silk screens, I've never been successful because I haven't ever had the patience to let them dry all the way. But I love this pattern, and I'm going to see how that's going to look. And again, all this, this I think I might have gotten from Amazon. It could have also been directly from Home Decor Chalk Paint. I can't remember. It could have been from Peachy Cheap, which every night I get an email with their deal of the day, and you can save like sometimes up to 70% on that deal of the day. And they offer a lot of paper products, paints, different accessories and embellishments for junk journaling. But I mean, paints can be used for everything. So I might have gotten this from them, and it came in a collection of like 10 or 12 different colors. So I'm going to try this color. I don't know if it has a name. There's no other label on here. So I'm going to use this. We're going to give that a try. So I'm going to cut myself some of this. And I'm just going to make a couple pair of earrings, maybe more than two, but we're going to go from there. And I'm going to go push this through. I have a little pasta maker extender to my KitchenAid, which I went away from the hand crank because my hand crank, like the Atlas, it wasn't an Atlas, but it was similar to a pasta press that you hand crank. I had to hold it down on the table, and it was getting harder and harder. So I don't know if that was because the press isn't great. I didn't spend a lot of money on it. But I found one on Amazon, and I'll put the link below. But the Amazon one for KitchenAid, they had several different ones. You could buy a set where they cut it in, for pasta. It's a 3-piece set for the KitchenAid attachment, where it cuts it in like, wide noodles, one sheet of noodle, and then spaghetti type noodles. I only needed the flat one for the one sheet. I'd originally bought the 3-piece set from like Kohl's. Even with the discount, it was well close to $200 for that little set. And I found one on Amazon, and I didn't get it at first because it was only $37, and that's a good deal for that piece. And it works fantastic, by the way. I did get it, but I didn't buy it at first. And then I decided I'll buy it even after I bought the other set, and I would return the other set unused if the one from Amazon worked correctly, because there was mixed reviews on it. And let me tell you, it worked fantastic. There's no need to spend more. I'll put that link below for my Amazon storefront, and I returned the one to Kohl's unused. So it all worked out, and I'm so happy I went forward and purchased that. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go press this out. Now, another thing that I'm going to try is I'm going to use some sandpaper to give it some texture on the back, because something I read in Facebook today said people were asking, how do you make your back so nice? Not to me, but to everybody was asking in general, which is a common question and issue that most people have, the back of their earrings. And somebody had posted, the backs are nobody's business but mine. And I like that. I like that. But it is really hard. Even with a nice tile like I have here, it will give a glossy look to the back. But the problem is it will still could have dips in the clay as well as imperfections. And so I got this stack of different grade sandpapers from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. So I grabbed it because I thought I'm going to texturize the back, and they look like they're pretty much close. I'm going to get the roughest one. I think that's this one here, this black one. And I'm just going to put this texture on the back of the earrings. So you can hardly see this here because I have it really light, white on white. I'm going to press into that. And we'll see how that's going to look. Now, I always do my cutters. Now, look at that here. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Now, I don't know if there's a right side or a wrong side, but I think the brighter, I don't know. I'm going to think that this is the right side because the writing on the stencil is facing the right direction. So we're going to put that on here. And we're going to press that down on here just real nice so it stays a little sticky to it. And then I know I don't need this big thing, but I'm going to use it. Hopefully it'll work. I had that for painting. And let's see. I should have a paintbrush somewhere here. Oh, I have these cheap ones. I'm going to try these. So let's take this out here. And we just want to, like, I don't know how much I really need, but we're going to put some on here and then we'll swish it across. These were just from the Dollar Tree, and I bought them strictly just to spread ink or paint like this. Oops, I'm going to make a mess. I'm called the Messy. No, this is the Crafts Cafe. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. So we're going to get that all pushed into the screen here without deforming anything. I don't think I need it over there. We're almost... You almost have every inch covered here because I can see the white through here. I'm going to squeegee that down. Everybody, when I first was looking at these, they were saying, make sure you immediately wash this out. And so I thought you were lifting this up before the paint actually dried. And it doesn't work if you do it before it dries. So we're going to let that dry. So I'm wondering, like, okay, I guess some people will soak these silk screens into some water, a water bath, and hopefully that loosens it up. But you do want to clean these as fast as you can so that you don't get ink trapped into where it's supposed to like be part of this. You don't want the ink to get trapped or permanently affixed into the areas that the stencil's for. And we're just going to go with the flow and see how that goes. So I'll be right back. We'll peel this up in a second. Okay, so it's only been a few minutes, and it seems like this chalk paint is actually drying a little faster than I expected. So that's actually good. I do have it dried before I even turned on the overhead fan. So we're going to try and see how this looks. Oh, it did not go through. Look at that. It didn't go through. So I'm wondering now if I have the wrong side. Okay, well, that's a bummer because it's totally dry here. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around. I don't know why it would make a difference, but we're going to give that a try. I'll be back. Okay, here we are again. So last time I made sure the writing was facing the right way. Now I'm going to flip it and use it the other way. So we're going to place this down here. I want the waves kind of like that. So if I'm doing something wrong and somebody knows, let me know. But we're going to give this a shot. Okay, so I'm going to use the same chalk paint. We're going to see, maybe this is just too thick for that. I don't know. It went on like I've seen others do. So we're going to put a lot on here. And we don't want it to dry too fast because it won't go through. Just do one swipe, 2 swipes. Make sure it gets pushed through, okay? And now we're going to wait. Okay, so it does seem dry now. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to do something else. Look, I got paint on myself. We'll do something else, don't worry. Oh, it worked. Okay, well, it didn't work there. So I think so you can tell where I have to push it through a little bit more in some areas. So what to do. I would love to see this work, but I don't know. I'm thinking, let's see if I can get just like two pieces here. I want these 2 right here. That's cute. And this right here with the wave a little bit. I really wanted the wave. Let me see if I can go that way. I can. Okay, I got a couple there. We're going to do a couple more here. And this was a little set that I got off of Temu too. Especially when you're starting out and the prices were really good at the time when I bought this. So I have 4 pieces there. And I'm wondering if I really need this. But let's, oops. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to keep. So I'm getting the full color pieces that totally came through without any fade. Let's see if I can get 2 more somewhere. Right there, maybe. Nope. Could be right there. Okay, that's good. Get that piece there. And this piece right here, I think. Okay. And pull this up. This is the most satisfying part. Okay, so I have that. I'll push that aside for now. We reuse everything. And put this away out of the way. I'm not going to use this piece here because I'm going to have so much going on already. And I don't know how I'm going to hang that. I might hang it that way. Or I might just do this piece here. I'm not sure yet, guys. I'm not sure. So let me pull these up. Even though I don't like to pull up once I cut and press, they're coming up really good. So I'm gonna pull them up, and you just tap it a little bit around to help reduce the need for a lot of sanding afterwards. And I'm learning that you want to sand using a felt tip on your Dremel. So that works. So we're going to put that up here because I'm going to cook everything on this clay, and we're going to make some other earrings too. So you can see I'm kind of trying to match these with the ones that'll go, and you want to press it down, not hard at all, but you want to press it down. I'm going to match these up. These two, if I put them on here together, then I'll remember which ones go where without having to think too much about it. But you don't want to press down hard because you don't want to make it any thinner, but you do want to make sure it adheres to that and there's no lifting or bubbling underneath when you do cook it. That's why I don't normally lift up, especially if I'm doing just a small piece like this, but I am going to do several videos in this one and cook my pieces all together. So you're going to see some of these pieces come up as I'm doing these in my other video. So I think these, oops, that kind of got a little distorted there. Put that down there. I like to use a silicone tip too. Kind of really helps to push it around, but I did not get that out to start with. Yes, I have it right over here. I do not. Okay. I think I'm going to put those two together there, and then these two. See, I'm just kind of like running my hand across it real fast. I think the heat from your body helps that piece, and we'll put those two together up there. Okay, and then we have this other piece here. I don't know, maybe the turtle will go right between and I just won't use any of these other pieces. I think I might do that. So we'll push those off for now because they're not going to get baked together. Oops, shoot. Okay, no marks, that's good. Okay, so we're going to do that and I'll show you the end product. And the first one, I decided to do this. I added some nail, you can see those, the nail little charms. I was able to put that into resin and cover that. And I added some glass beads. I thought those came out pretty cute. They had more of an Aztec kind of look to them than beachy. That was with the silk screen and using the like teal coral, not coral, but the teal chalk paint through the silk screen. And then we did another set, and I had these kind of glass beads. They're like resin, I think. Those are made out of resin. And I had those, so I thought actually mixing the coral with the teal made a great combo for that. And then I covered that with resin on the top part. And I did use all silver coloring, silver toned hardware on these. There we go. And then this was the last pair that I used and did resin cover onto it to seal the paint into the poly. And then I used a different color blue just to give it a little contrast with the bead holders with a head pin, well actually eye pin through the middle, and held it together that way with jump rings, and I was really happy with them. I do think these might be my favorite, but I like this and I thought this was a cute addition using those nail charms for the ocean. So let me know which one you like, and I want to thank you for watching, and I'll be back real soon. I have several others that I've been making and I want to share with you. So if you have any questions, just leave me a comment below and I'll return your comment as soon as possible. So thank you again for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe now. It helps the channel and the channel to grow, and lots more coming. Thank you.